Good morning, everyone. Lovely to see you all here today. I'd like to welcome everyone in the sanctuary. If you're returning and any new guests, please feel free to stand now so we can acknowledge you. Nobody new here today? Okay, that's awesome. We are all familiar. Please join me in spirit for the opening affirmative prayer. We enter in this sacred space with joy in our hearts as we honor the presence of the divine within each one of us here and now. We celebrate that presence together as we worship and let its essence flow through our conscious awareness. The words spoken by Dr. Michele uplift and heal. So I give thanks as the law now receives these words, demonstrating a peaceful and beautiful experience this day. And so it is. Please stand with me for the prosperity affirmation. And we begin. I live in a world that is filled with God's abundance, and I now claim this as my own. The riches of the universe are open to me, and I partake of them in wisdom and joy. All my affairs are under the law of prosperity. Increased good flows to me from all directions and through all people. There is no lack in my consciousness, for God's ideas fill my thoughts, and all is richness and opulence. I am orderly in all my ways. I am loving, kind, and gracious. I speak this day in terms of abundance. I expect increased prosperity to take place in my world, for I know that God's activity is alive in my affairs. I now give thanks that the riches of God are mine to use and enjoy in right ways. And so it is. Please be seated. Now we shall have our chant in the silence by Jack Fowler. Now let us be still in a calming and meditative silence. Welcome back. I will now light the candle on behalf of the youth. Please join me in the prayer for the youth. There is one life. That life is my life now. Divine intelligence guides, uplifts, and nurtures all beings, especially the youth, who are the promise of a new world. May all youth worldwide walk in the awareness of their spiritual magnificence. And so it is. Now please stand for our mission song. You may be seated. Some announcements for you all. But before I get into that, welcome again, everyone. If there are any new guests to our temple this morning, feel free to stand so we can acknowledge you, make you feel welcome. Yay! Our ushers will be coming to present you with a package. Thank you for joining us today. Hope we'll see you again. Okay, we've said it so many times. If you're still dreaming of playing the piano or the guitar, stop dreaming. Wake up. Wake up. It's real life. Alarm is gone. We've been started having music classes every Sunday at 2 p.m. So you can join us today for a fun and hands-on session. As you already know, scholarships are now being offered to people who wish to start music lessons. so you can share this information so other people can benefit. I believe at the AGM I heard that there was even more scholarship sponsors available than students, so there's opportunities here to learn music. Please share the word. And join us on Tuesday, April 21 at 6 p.m. as our practitioner, Sandra Cooper, will host a spiritual mind healing service. And the topic is summer consciousness. Please keep an eye out for the link. Recharge with Tai Chi on Fridays at 9 a.m. with Sifu Stuart Maxwell here at the temple. The contribution per person is $2,000, and you'll definitely enjoy the health benefits of this traditional healing art. A new series of classes started on Thursday with Uncle Vance, entitled Visioning, a Way of Life. It's on Thursdays at 7 p.m., and this practical class provides a place in consciousness where access to higher wisdom is available. I'm sure you all know the benefits of visioning. We had a Prosperity Palooza earlier this year where we know the effect, the impact that collective visioning can have. So come to this class, learn more about it, how to apply it to your life, and let's remain in one accord. Get ready. This Tuesday, April 21, at 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., we will join Reverend Michele Synegal for a face-to-face meeting entitled Truth and Tea. It's a special event designed to warmly come together and explore science of mind through joyful practices like inquiry, deep discussion, and self-discovery over a cup of tea. That personally sounds really wonderful, so I hope to see you there. On Saturday, May 2, 2026, you can join Reverend Dr. Michele for the inaugural Spiritual Mind Treatment Clinic at 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. This is the first ever immersive intensive that's designed for those who long to master the sacred practice at the heart of our teaching. You can call the office to reserve your place, and the cost is $2,500. And of course, you can make your tithes and offering at our newly revamped website, templeoflightcsl.org/donate. You can make your payments in USD or JMD via secure link, and offerings are also accepted via the POS device that I think Shelly-Ann has. Yes, everybody say hi, Shelly-Ann. Hi, Shelly-Ann. Hi, Auntie Shelly. Prayer support, of course, continues to be available with Reverend Michele. It's also on our website, or you can go to prayer.templeoflightcsl.org. Okay. Now we will have our first hymn, In the Silence, by Bill Provost. Yes, it's a different song, guys. This is Bill Provost. This is
Secret meeting place, love is there.
Beautiful song. Now, please join me in welcoming our very own senior minister. You know her, you love her. The newly conferred Dr. Reverend Michele, Synegal, for her message.
Thank you, my dear. Well, in my family, it's no big deal. My son called me the other day, "Hey, Doc Mom, what's up?" So we're continuing our theme, which is the practice of becoming. And today we're going to focus on listening beyond the noise of the world. So if you would assist me, please, Lauren. You're going to have a couple of experiences today. They're going to be musical experiences. The first one is going to be a tuning with singing bowls, just for a little bit, because I want to make the point about the difference between silence and stillness. So if you could just turn your attention inward, you might even pick up the vibration from the singing bowls. I've got a lot of competition, so really tune in. Notice the sensation. What's happening in your body? Can you feel the vibration? Thank you, Lauren. You can let it fade, go to fade. Thank you. So what happened in your body? I'll tell you what happened in mine. I always start to kind of twirl. Anybody have that sensation where you kind of start to twirl? Yeah, yeah. Because what's happening, you kind of go around like that. Yeah. Because what's happening is you're actually resonating with the vibration that the singing bowl is making. And if you are in that practice a lot, you have different experiences. Usually you have deeper experiences. It doesn't take long for me to start this twirling thing that goes on within me. So because there was sound, you were in the stillness, you were not in the silence. There's a difference between the stillness and the silence. Hit it, Matthew. That's noise. And I asked him to make noise, and he made noise. Because we are bombarded by noise, by external stimulus all the time, just like that. But the truth of the matter is you can rise above it. You can literally block it out. Once you really practice stillness, not silence. So I'm going to share with you a reading that I think actually frames of what I'm talking about. Under all the harsh noise, such as that music, or whatever you want to call it, that Matthew just gave us, that's the world coming in on us. And this is how the things that last move. There's this small wave that happens within us. Like mine is this kind of rocking, yours might be more of a wave. And it moves us to a different state of consciousness. It moves us to a different place. And what happens is you might even start to bob and weave and bow. And there's a reaching out for each other, because we really require, as human beings, human connection. Our very life is the ground of practice by which we struggle to unlock the gate that lets life in more fully, regardless of how it shows up, how it appears. It's the murmur of life that fills us with another chance. Have you ever felt like, oh my goodness, I messed up? I made a wrong choice? No, never? Okay. You all have, you're so enlightened. I'm still on that path. Sometimes I question some of my decisions and some of my choices, but after I spend time in the stillness, I say, oh, I can do this. There's good in everything, right? So little by little, courage starts to assume us, consume us, excuse me, not assume, consume us, and it fills us more and more, and it enables us to do the hard work that is necessary to transcend whatever the situation or the circumstance is that you have some doubt around the choice that you made. It's about giving release to all that does not serve you, so that you do experience heaven right here on earth. And that comes from the endless practice, Becoming Who You Were Born to Be by Mark Nepo. So in the science of mind, we are surrounded by all sorts of vibrations, but what we say about that is that we can make some distinctions between what is noise and what is for our highest good, what is for our healing. How do we do that? We tune in. We tune in. Because within us resides a profound stillness that transcends the cacophony of external stimuli and internal mental activity. This stillness is the alignment of our individual mind with infinite divine mind. The infinite intelligence that operates beyond thought forms, expectations, and reactive patterns. It's the practice of becoming that calls us to listen beyond the noise, discerning what obstructs our resonance with life itself. Then silence becomes an active laboratory of consciousness, where inner stillness sharpens, and we have spiritual discernment, and what needs to be revealed to us is revealed to us. And that revelation is the eternal truth that's always present, that's always awaiting our recognition. So what keeps us from truly listening? In our hyper-connected world, we navigate a constant barrage of digital signals. You know, our phones, our computers, ding, bing, 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 everything is always sounding off. Societal narratives, 24-hour news streams. That's for those of you who watch the news. Yet the primary barriers to deep listening are not merely external, they're also internal. The persistent mental chatter that is fueled by fear-based conditioning the illusion of separation, and the ego's need to control or to interpret every input. Anybody ever find yourselves doing that? What does that mean? What was it? There's really no meaning, something just happened. Oh, but there's got to be a meaning. Neurologically, this manifests hyperactivity in our internal networks, and these networks are associated with rumination. And I'm not talking about the positive things that we ruminate on, but those things that are distressing, those things that are negative thoughts, our failures, our mistakes. And then also, this hyperactivity manifests as that everything ever says was, they didn't call a name, but was it me? I know people like that. And what happens is all of that misinterpretation, it drowns out the subtle signals, the information that is trying to be transmitted into our awareness around our right decisions, right action. True listening demands that we quiet our intellectual defenses and we enter the inner sanctuary where divine intelligence resides. And the scripture teaches us, be still and know what? That I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Because it's in that stillness where we meet our higher selves, where we meet the all-knowingness, the all-powerful presence that we know to be God. Silence is an active teacher. It's far more than the absence of sound. It's the presence of everything. It's unfiltered by noise. It's being aware of everything. Like, I just looked out and I saw a white butterfly fly by. If I were not tuned in, if I were not conscious of everything, I could have all these beautiful butterflies around me and never even notice them. Sometimes I'll say things to people and they're kind of like, that's interesting. Because folks don't take the time to be consciously aware of everything that is happening. That's elevated consciousness, and you only get to that place when you practice being in the stillness. For instance, I can't walk down the street, and I walk down the street daily, and see a piece of paper on the ground without picking it up. I'm consciously aware that it is right there. And I pick it up and I move it out of the way. And why do you do that? I have some friends along the road. You see them every day. And my friend Mitch said, why do you pick up trash? Because it's in my sight line. It's not supposed to be here. It's out of alignment. I'm gonna pick it up. I do the same thing around here when I walk in on the property. That's what we're talking about, this heightened awareness of everything. And if there's anything that's out of order, you can choose it to be yours to do, to put it in order or not. But if you don't even notice it, and you walk by it all the time, it will remain there because it's not in your sight line, so therefore it's not in your consciousness. So what I want to talk about now is our intuition. That internal divine guidance that may arise. It may be vague. It could be a sensation that is so subtle that you want to ignore it. But what I want to say to you, stop and feel. Why? Because it is resonant knowing. What does that mean? That means that you know and you don't even know how you know, but you do know. Silence functions as a dynamic instructor. It trains our observation without interference. It's about feeling without judging it. It's about receptivity without an agenda, just being open. This year we're talking about being open at the top. What does that really mean? That means you might hear something that doesn't align with maybe something that you believe or even some information you already have. But you're open to listening to it. Why? Because we are all individualized expressions of the one, and therefore we're not always going to resonate with the exact same things. But I just might learn something. I might change my perspective by being open to what it is that you have to offer. So that's what being open at the top is about. And what's the benefit in doing that? What the neuroscientists say is that when you are open at the top, when you are receptive to new and different information, you can create new and different neural paths in your own brain and in your own mind. What does that mean? You know, some people talk about memory loss. Well, the neuroscientists say you can overcome memory loss by creating new neural pathways. They call it neurogenesis. What is genesis? To begin again. To begin again, right? To create something from nothing. So there is value in taking the time to be still. And when you are still and when you're quiet, from personal experience, what I know is I truly am so much more alert, awake, aware, and I can take in everything. The question is, do I know how to not absorb everything? There's a difference between observation and absorption. When we absorb, we take on the feeling nature of whatever is happening around us. I don't want to be that person. Why don't I want to be that person? Because there's so much noise in the world that I don't want a part of my consciousness. I want to block it out so that I truly can remember who I am and experience heaven right here on earth. The inner stillness helps us to discern the truth. It differs from mere silence. It's a cultivated state of being in which mental noise, automatic reactivity, and emotional turbulence lose their potency. From this serene alignment, perception clarifies beyond the distortions of fear and beyond our ego desires. So, explore and reflect. This is your assignment for this week. Take 10 to 15 minutes daily to be in the silence, or extend a practice that you're already engaged in. Make sure you're comfortable. Observe your breath. Observe any sensation that you might be feeling. Choose a point of focus and gently return to the eternal now moment whenever you find your mind drifting off, wandering off. We learn that in Tai Chi even, to have a central focus. Although we are moving, I should actually get somebody else up here to demonstrate the Tai Chi walking. Even though we are moving, we are focused on something that is outside of us, beyond us. And what Sifu always tells us is do not look down, do not look at your feet. Because if you do, you're going to miss what's in front of you. And it is a martial art, by the way. So you want to make sure that you're not setting yourself up to be knocked out or knocked down, because you see it coming. And here are two questions that I'd like for you to ask yourself when you're engaged in this practice. How do I consciously use silence as a sacred technology for alignment? How do I consciously use silence as a sacred technology for alignment? And what is alignment? Alignment is being at one, being of one accord with the divine. That's what alignment is. Here's the second question. What deeper truth or guidance has emerged in this field of silence? That's where you get your greatest ideas. That's where you get your greatest innovation, your greatest creativity is in the silence. It's not in the noisiness of the world. So when you wake up in the morning, try greeting your loved ones without words. How about with a smile? Direct eye contact. During a shared meal, practice mindful listening. That means you're not speaking. They're the center of your universe. You're listening to what it is they have to say. And then if it's appropriate to encourage them in some way or bless them in some way, then you do that. But so often we're talking over each other, if we're even talking. Half the time we're on our telephones, right at the same table. Right? When you have an urge to react, when you feel irritation coming on, just pause. Just pause. And then decide, what am I to do? And is the next thing I say or the next action I take, is it to my highest good or the highest good of the other party or to my highest alignment with the divine? And I'll tell you, it stops me. It stops me a lot. There was a situation where there was a woman who reacted to some instruction that I had given, and she was very elevated, and she was, because she was seeing it through her lens, we're seeing two entirely different things, and she was so passionate. I'm not doing that. I'm not saying that. And so my reaction was, because I'm in charge here, that was the first one, right? I said, no, I'm going to pause. I'm going to be quiet. And then I approached her, and I said, I understand that we have a challenge here. What's going on? And then she explained what was going on. And I said, you know what? I said, you allowed your reaction to take over. There was an answer right there in front of you on the same page that you're misinterpreting, but you couldn't see it. I said, sometimes the obvious is so invisible because we are so emotionally elevated. And I said, do you see that word? And she said, yes. I said, focus on that word. What comes up for you? What resonates with you and for you? That's the word. You had choice, but you didn't even see it. So I'm saying from my personal experience that we always have a reactive impulse, especially when something doesn't align with our values or we feel that maybe we were offended in some way, and just stopping and pausing and just being quiet. Just being quiet. You will get the guidance on what is for the highest good for all parties concerned. So I want to close in this way. I want to share with you some quotations from Ernest Holmes and also one from Mark Nepple that really, I think, capture the nature of this talk. And the nature of this talk is really to navigate and to overcome the noisiness of the world. Out of the silence of our own soul comes a direct revelation of our oneness with God. The next one. In the innermost recesses of uplifted thought and silent contemplation, there is a voice ever proclaiming, beloved. And then it goes on, and it affirms you, it encourages you in some way. But we must learn to listen to that voice, to that inner voice. The next one. Silence is our communion with God, our awareness of our unity with good. Those are all by Ernest Holmes. Last one. After all these years, I'm beginning to see that tranquility is the depth of being that holds what we think and feel. So only in the silence that lies behind your thought, your reactive behaviors, one can hear the symphony of the universe. One can hear the whisper of the word. Can one approach the inner temple wherein dwells the soul? The answer is a sacred yes. So affirm with me, if you would, Today I attune to the voice of truth arising within the sacred field of my inner silence. Be still and know, and so it is. Amen.
Wow. I had never considered stillness to be a practice before. Honestly, thought it was more of a state of being. So that was interesting to think about. And it got me thinking, you're usually silent so you can hear others speak. So you would be still to hear spirit speak, to hear the world speak to you. And I believe that would have you be more in tune with yourself, yeah? So you can build your intuition. Beautiful, honestly. All right, that was the message. Lovely. Now we will have a musical item by practitioner Carol Campbell, who will be performing Be Still and Know.
Good morning, everyone. And you know, Steve has a favorite word, synchronicity. I didn't know the words that Reverend Michele was going to be saying this morning, and I chose this song, which Noel gave me years ago, called Be Still and Know. You do not mind the winter day. You know that spring is on its way. You know that mountain streams will flow. Be still and know. The clouds will form, the rain will fall. The stars will rise on great and small. You plant a seed, that seed will grow. Be still and know. You trust in what you have not seen, a frozen field that will be green. The ocean tide that comes each night, the western wind, the morning light. If you have faith in all these ways, then leave with God your future days. Your cup of life will overflow. Be still and know. You trust in what you have not seen, a frozen field that will be green. The ocean tide comes each night, the western wind, the morning light. If you have faith in all these ways, then leave with God your future days. Your cup of life will overflow. Be still and know.
Beautiful. Please join me in saying our prayer for our center. Can we begin? The Temple of Light, Center for Spiritual Living, is a sacred field embodying our spiritual community from which the Christ, peace, love, and joy emanate, to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, and to liberate anyone who comes into contact with it in any way. The light of the Christ illumines us, our center, and our environment. Our spiritual community is filled with and surrounded by the presence of God and is growing from strength to strength. Guiding us ceaselessly along the paths of wisdom, spiritual growth, unfoldment, and attainment. We are blessed, and to God be the honor and glory forever. And so it is. Lovely, you may be seated. In a moment, we will be singing our second hymn. But before that, we're going to do the love offering blessing. While we're saying this, I'd ask you to take the envelopes out of your programs. Hold them over your hearts while we say the blessing. Lovingly I give, joyfully I receive. Be thou fruitful, increase and multiply. Bless, prosper, and enrich everyone whom you touch. Replenish all my financial affairs. So be it. Thank you, Father. And so it is. Now, while we sing our second hymn, feel free to come up and drop your envelopes into any one of the offering baskets at either side of the podium. And Shelly Ann is also here with the point of sale if you'd like to make your donations there. And of course, the option to donate online is also available at templeoflightcsl.org/donate. Lovely, you may be seated. Here we are. We're at the end of our service, friends. I'm going to take this time to mention something I forgot to mention in the announcements. that Reverend Michael and his wife are celebrating their wedding anniversary. And that announcement was specifically for a Reverend Michael record, apparently. Yes, I was about to mention. Mrs. Henry is also celebrating her wedding anniversary. 27 years is a long time. I haven't even been alive for 27 years. Yes, so congratulations to you both. The rest of our acknowledgements, of course, we would like to acknowledge the musicians, Audale and Matthew. The temple singers, no, you get your special section. The musicians for the instruments and then the voice instruments, yeah, you're different, yeah. Auntie Carol, Auntie Sonia, Auntie Lilith, our singers. And of course, our musical item, Auntie Carol. Thank you so much. Our ushers, I'm not sure who are ushers today. Sharon and Auntie Carol, amazing. Thank you so much. To the tech team as well. To the tech team, Terrell, I'm seeing Uncle Lauren, Uncle Vance, Auntie Christine. Anybody else I'm missing today? I'm going to mention it, Reverend Ann, thank you so much. Hospitality, I'd like to thank you as well. I'm not sure who's there today, but thank you for the good food every week. And the flowers today, the floral arrangements we have were donated by the McCalla family who hosted the Thanksgiving service of their beloved Jean. So we thank them for their donation of the floral arrangements. Please remember to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, or Facebook, or Instagram. And now we invite Reverend Dr. Michele to come back to bless us, our offering, and our closing affirmative prayer.
But before I do that, have you all noticed our social media campaigns? Yeah? Yeah, it's putting us on the map. We're getting a lot more likes. People are tuning in. It's making a difference, and I want to thank Gabby and Matthew for doing that. So if they ever show up and put a phone in front of your face, they just want to record you so they can put it on social media. Let's take that journey within for just a moment. Let's venture into the stillness. And what I want you to do in this very moment is just to start to mentally give thanks for whatever you are thankful for. You know, you can start with the tip of your toes and go all the way to the top of your head. Just take a few moments to give thanks. And what I want you to know is that you raise your vibration when you operate from a place of gratitude. You align with all that resonates at that level, just welcoming more and more and more blessings into your life. And so it's from that place that I'm so grateful for all of the giving, the myriad ways in which it comes. POS machine, online, hard cash. So grateful because it allows us to continue to be here, to continue to be reminded of the truth of who we are. And as we prosper as a community, we can share and bless others in Kingston who are a little less fortunate than are we through our community outreach. So I give thanks. I give thanks for all we have. I give thanks for all we give, for all we do, and for who we are, knowing that we are fulfilling our divine purpose this time, this place, For such a time as this, we are needed. And as you leave here today, I'm blessing each and every one of you. May every step be aligned with pure spirit. Therefore, giving to the world the gift that only you can give. Your gift of smile, laughter, presence, your competence, your technical skill and ability, whatever contribution you are making, it's yours to make. And I pray you do so with a smile on your face and joy in your heart. Today is a great day to have a great day. Today is the day that the Lord has made, so be glad and rejoice in it. And so it is. Amen.
Please stand for our peace song.